But I just continued. Many of the films that I was working in, whether in the studio, people would come and from the industry, unions would say that we're going to stop this guy because he's a traitor.
Was that set up against you because you had joined politics?
I don't know. I really don't know. This is something that those people will have to be asked. I was working in Pune, for example, for a film called Main Azad Hu. There was a stage sequence on that where I had to come onto the stage in a theater and make a speech. And the moment the shot started, the entire auditorium just got up and attacked me.
So what did you do?
We stopped, and somehow the production people and all, we got rid of them, and then I went ahead and started.
No, what I meant, what did you, in the sense, is it true that for that period you actually went abroad, you lived abroad?
No, that was much after.
Much after?
Yes, that was much after. Because we had fought the case in 3 different countries, and we came out winning successfully.
But Mr. Bachchan, you're the
at that time, yeah, I'm just coming to that. At that point of time, I was advised that maybe you're secure enough not to work anymore. Because there were some other businesses that the family had, my brother had interest in, and the family was kind of secure.
Do you feel you responded too strongly to a section,
Yes.
narrow section of the audience?
No, I don't think so.
No, you don't think so. Do you think it was your anger with the media, with what was being written about you that you were?
I will not blame the media. Why should I blame the media? It was what was being projected as something. The media is merely a messenger. You can't, accuse the postman for bringing in bad news to you. So I just went with it. But they were hard times because you hardly slept at night because you're waiting for the morning papers to come out and read what fresh accusation is
My
going to
question
come.
to you was about KBC 2000, and my limited point to you was that in 2000 there were a lot of people out there on this new mass medium of satellite television who were rooting for you.
Yeah, so to come to your question, during this period there was all this, I felt that, the audiences have gone off me.
Yes.
There were many bigger stars at that point of time who were much more popular than me and still are. And they are getting the attention. So I should perhaps step back and do whatever is asked of me to do and survive in some manner. And that's what I did, and I still believe in that. But when I went on TV, it was the first time that I came to know that there was still a lot of affection left for me. And that was very reassuring.
Tell me about it.
When I used to visit the sets to conduct the shows, the reaction that I used to get from the live audience that was present on the set, that was very reassuring because they still applauded you and they still clapped for you. And that kind of builds your spirit up. Yeah.
And today, so what, Mr. Bachchan? 12 years since then. Isn't it incredible? 12 years you've done this show.
Yeah.
Your touch and feel when we speak to people who have held your hand, or when we hear stories of people who have come face to face with you, like I am, when they speak to you on the phone, and I don't know, when you say, "Main Amitabh Bachchan bol raha hu," I'm sure you are aware of. It's an incredible impact.
Yeah,
incredible impact.
It's quite amazing, and I can only just express my gratitude that there are.
So the audience has never rejected you, really, Mr. Bachchan.
I don't
never
know.
did. I think you were angry.
No, I was not angry.
You were not angry.
I knew that there's something that I've done wrong, and until I prove it that I've done it right, perhaps that thing will not return. And in fact, there's a very interesting side incident that happened at that time. When we took certain media to court in the Royal Courts of London, and we came out victorious, I had just completed Aaj Ka Arjun with Mr. K.C. Bukadia. And I had one song that was left. So after the case was over, I came back to shoot for the song. And Mr. Bukadia came to me and said, "Sir, apni picture hit hai." So I said, "Why?" "Sir, मेरे को distributor आया, वो बोला कि वो जीत गए वहाँ बोफोर्स में, अब आपकी picture hit है." For some reason, this is the kind of psychology that may have been prevalent amongst the audience. that because I'm an accused person, and therefore these will have effect on the collections of box office.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the extent to which sometimes creativity takes you, but that's the kind of effect it had.
Mr. Bachchan, I want you to wrap up this interview in your own words. You are deeply inspired by your father. A lot of people are. And I would like you to summarize. When you look back at your life, you said right at the start of the interview that I don't look at albums and people collect snippets of my professional life and show it to me. If there was one narration, one stanza, one poem which would describe your feelings as you look back at 70, Mr. Bachchan, I would be delighted if you could wrap up this session of Frankly Speaking with that for me.
Oh gosh. There isn't anything that I haven't already spoken about or said, but yeah, my parents have been a great influence to me. I just feel very blessed that I had the blessings of a mixed culture. My mother came from a very affluent Sikh family, born and brought up in Lalpur, now Faisalabad in Pakistan, and Government College Lahore. My grandfather was a bar at law at that time, you know, late 1800s, early 1900s, in Karachi. And my father from almost lower middle class existence. So he brought in a lot of the Eastern effect, or the more, what can I say, conservative, Indian conservative existence. My mother, more westernized, she grew up with English nannies and,
Yes.
you know, and the kind of affluence that she was, and brought in a lot of style and culture of Lahore, which was, you know, as even now known as the Paris of the East. I don't know about its condition now, but I just feel that I would have wanted to spend more time with my father and know more about his writings, because I read it now and I find some kind of answer in almost all his words whenever there's a difficult situation. Or when he was alive, I would go and, you know, share my grief or my temperament at that point. And he was always always had a solution or an answer to it.
Yes.
It could have been philosophical, but at the same time, even sometimes philosophy works.
Prepared or unprepared sometimes when you
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
on the spot.
Yeah. So he had certain, you know, basics in life, and I just went along with that. I've talked to you about कि मन का हो तो अच्छा ना हो तो ज़्यादा अच्छा. When I was ill in my school and I was unable to do my play, and I was, you know, distraught that I was probably going to miss the opportunity of winning another Best Actor Cup. And he came and sat by me in hospital and he said, मन का हो तो अच्छा ना हो तो ज़्यादा अच्छा. And I could never understand कि ज़्यादा अच्छा कैसे हो सकता है अगर मन का नहीं हो रहा है. And then he said that, you know, then it's happening according to the will of God. And he will never ever do anything wrong or against you or less for you. So that's why it's better. We may not see it, but perhaps there is some hidden benefit in that. And every time I would go to him, I would say, you know, life is बड़ा संघर्ष करना पड़ता है. He says, जब तक जीवन है, तब तक संघर्ष है. So, you know, you are prepared that, you know, so long as you're existing, there is going to be struggle every day almost. And I think that these are some of the, you know, very salient features that I gathered from him. His immense willpower, his just incredible commitment to whatever he took up. Pandit Nehru asked him to translate a biography written by Michael Brecher at that point in time. It was a very prominent biography of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And Panditji told my father that, you know, I want it within 3 months, because he wanted to release it on his birthday, and it was a massive job. But my father just went about doing it, and almost 18, 20 hours a day working. When he would get tired sitting down writing, he would stand up and work. He made a special table where he could stand up and work. When he would get tired standing up, he would sit on the floor and work. And one day I went into his room and I found him with his left hand in a bowl of hot water. So I said, what's happened? He says, my left hand is paining. You know, I put it. I said, why is it paining? He says, you know, लिखता हूँ ना मैं बहुत दिन भर, तो वो दर्द हो रहा था. But I said, you write with your right hand. How is the left hand paining? So he said, yeah, I write with my right hand. And because I was writing so much, my right hand was paining. And I knew that I had to complete work. So I have willed that the pain go to my left hand so that my right hand can operate. And now my left hand is paining, that's why I put it in hot water. These are just incredible examples of what willpower can do and what commitment means. So I've always, tried to be a very small example of that.
Fine example. Mr. Bachchan, it's a privilege to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bachchan.
Thank you,
sir. Thank you.
Tell us what you think of this interview. We'd like to know who you want to see on Frankly Speaking next. Send us your views and suggestions on our Twitter handle